Hey, I'm Kaitlin or Carnivorr on Instagram, and this is the last few restaurants on my Jonathan Gold's 101 Days, 101 Restaurants Challenge. So it's pretty exciting. Jumping right in with number 98, Union Restaurant in Pasadena. This is number 96 on Jonathan's list. It's in Old Town Pasadena. I went with my friend Corey, who's also a food blogger. Miss Foodie Problems is her Instagram. You've probably seen her. She's awesome. So she came with me and we had a pasta feast and more. We tried so much delicious stuff. This is definitely my new favorite restaurant in Pasadena, and I'd never been before, so excited. Thanks, Jonathan, for introducing me. So Chef Bruce Kalman is the awesome chef here. So we started with the bread and pickles in a cute little pickle jar that came with house-made cultured butter. You had me at cultured butter. I will always order this on a menu. This was fantastic. Just a great way to get the palate ready. Then we got the pork meatballs per our waiter's recommendation. She said we could not miss them, and they came with San Marzano tomatoes, caper berries, chili, just really delicious Italian meatballs. Yum. Then we moved on to the pasta party. So we had the bucatini cacio e pepe, which is with the egg. So look at that yolk just drizzling over those perfect bucatini noodles. Just so good, melting over them. Of course, we mix it all together. Just get that yolk running into the butter, into the pasta. Perfect, heavenly, melts in your mouth. Good stuff, can't complain. Just classic pasta dish executed perfectly here. So then we also tried the potato leek agnolotti. So this is a more unique pasta dish, and I'd never had either of these in a pasta before, potatoes or leeks. Really loved them together, fresh fall veggies, winter, I guess, veggies. Those were in a walnut pesto and brown butter sauce with Grana Padano cheese on top. So good. That was definitely one of my favorites. Loved the use of the seasonal veggies, and I always love brown butter, so predictable. We also tried the heirloom grain risotto. So that was this beautiful brown rice risotto dish, and it had that egg in the middle, so gorgeous, and it had sunchokes. I love sunchokes, fennel, and goat cheese, which gave it that nice tang. That was a really pretty, lots of pretty egg dishes here. This was dinner, I promise, not even breakfast, but really delicious risotto. And of course we saved room for dessert. We got two. The olive oil cake that they were pretty well known for. It's fantastic. It's not as sweet as not as cloyingly sweet as other desserts can be, not like as sugary. Really nice though, definitely sweet, but that olive oil balances it out. Really tasty, and that came with a citrus gastrique and cream and glace, which was just really nice. The tangy citrus balanced out by the cream, creamy, tangy, a perfect dessert in my opinion. But also you have to have chocolate in pretty much every meal, so we tried the chocolate budino, and this also had some savory sweet elements, which is so addicting for me with chocolate. This one had cacao nibs, truffle salt, I know, and olive oil. So just really excellent. My favorites were probably the pastas and the desserts, but everything was great. Can't wait to go back to Union. Number 99 on my challenge, I went to Cut, which is the steakhouse by Wolfgang Puck in Beverly Hills, and this is number 16 on Jonathan's list. I took my grandparents with me, Grandma Trudy and Grandpa Paul, and they're big steak lovers, so I thought this would be a great place for them. It's a beautiful restaurant, just right there, you know, right off of Rodeo Drive. Gorgeous, just gorgeous spot, beautiful dining room. So they start off by bringing you out a tray of raw meat. Carnivorr heaven. I loved this part, and they show you each cut, and they show you the marbling on each meat, and you can kind of get a sense for what, you know, the size of the meat and how, you know, how much marble you like, if you like it red or more white, if there's more, you know, marbling mixed into the meat. So that's a pretty cool way to see it before it's cooked and help you order. That was so fun to play with, you know, I think that tomahawk was what I was holding there. But yeah, then comes the hard part, the decision making, because you just want to try all of the steak. Well, that's pretty much what my grandpa and I did. We decided to do the steak tasting, and this was the best steak of my life that I've ever had. I love steak. I've had a lot of steak. I can flat out say this was the best, but I'll save that for last, save the best for last, and start with, we also had a shrimp cocktail that was really tasty, and that had a horseradish panna cotta underneath it, which was a very unique panna cotta, obviously savory, spicy, went nicely with the shrimp. I'm not a huge horseradish fan, but this was a fun play on it, fun texture there. And then we also had Brussels sprouts with yuzu, sesame, aioli, and glazed shallots in there too, and then the mac and cheese with Quebec cheddar. So those were our sides. Now the steak. So we tried the tasting of New York sirloin. So this came with 3 pieces of beautiful, beautiful beef. So left to right, here's the photo. So on your left, the farthest to the left, you can see I cut them open so I could really look at the inside of each meat. They're all cooked the same, medium rare. So you can see the difference in like the texture of these beefs. So I don't know if you're aware of this, but Wagyu is the most expensive, probably the finest piece of steak you can ever have. So this sampler has 2 types of Wagyu on it. So there's an American Wagyu in the middle, and then to the far right there's a Japanese Wagyu. And then on the left, not to be forgotten, also super, super delicious, is 4 ounces of the prime dry-aged New York sirloin. So that was an excellent steak in itself, very flavorful, the dry age, so delicious, just really well seasoned, perfectly cooked. But look at the difference. You can see the difference in the steak. Like the far right one, the Japanese Wagyu, it's almost like butter. That marbling is so insane. So the reason why it's so American Wagyu is really excellent, the best we have in our country, I would say, and this one is 4 ounces of American Wagyu from Snake River Farms, sitting in the middle here. But then you get 2 ounces of the Japanese. So the Japanese Wagyu from the Hokkaido prefecture, they massage their cows. You've probably heard of this. It might sound insane. This is not a joke. They massage their cows. These cows like probably live a better life, more relaxed than we do. I mean, until their ultimate doom. I mean, they are raised to be eaten, but the whole time they're being massaged. They're living their best life. They're so relaxed. And look at the difference in the meat. This, like, you can see how much of a difference it makes, like being raised well, the animals being raised well and having this kind of lifestyle. Like, it is evident in this piece of meat. Like, the fat is just running through the meat. It's part of it. It's just, you can't even separate it. It's not like you're cutting around the pieces of fat like you would in a steak that's, you know, different. It's like so in there. It's intermeshed in there with the beef. I can't even describe to you one bite of this Japanese Wagyu. It just melts on your mouth. You don't even have to chew it. It's just like insane amounts of flavor and texture. Unreal, unreal. But it's so rich and so buttery. You cannot have more than 2 ounces of it. I mean, I couldn't. I could barely finish the 2 ounces. So you wouldn't want to eat like a whole steak of that. And it was really fascinating to compare like the most expensive steak in the world probably to the next best steak that we have in America, to a really, really, really quality steak, the sirloin. All fantastic steaks, but just so interesting to see them side by side. If you have, you know, if you're splurging, this is a great special occasion place and you want to spend $100 on really nice steak, I recommend trying the sampler so you can just see the difference in quality and see what you're paying for. And you know, maybe you try the Japanese Wagyu and you're like, I don't even like this, and then you know you never want to like spend that much money on again. I mean, that might be crazy. It was definitely my favorite, and my grandpa said it was the best steak he's ever had too. We were just blown away. But again, it wouldn't have been the same without having the 2 other steaks to compare it to. So fantastic. I loved doing the steak tasting. Just so good, just so educational, informative. I really felt like I understand steak better now because of it. Of course, we also saved room for dessert and got a beautiful flaming baked Alaska, and that had lemon sorbet and berries on the inside. That was so delicious too. So cut by Wolfgang Puck. Thank you, chef. So incredible. I will be back the next time I need steak, which is always, but so good. Number 100 went to Providence. Providence is maybe the most classic fine dining LA restaurant, heavy focus on seafood. The whole restaurant's beautiful. It looks like you're underwater. The inside is like blue. themed. It's like you're in the waves, so gorgeous, lots of delicious fish. The chef is Chef Michael Cimarusti. He also has Connie and Ted's, which is his more casual, like lobster shack seafood place. He's great at seafood. So Providence, if you are aware of Jonathan Gold's list, used to be #1 on Jonathan's list the past 4 years. This is the first year it was not #1, but Jonathan said in his review, it's not that it's not deserving or anything like that. It's just there was a new restaurant, Vespertine, that came along, which I'll review in the next episode. But Providence is still such a fantastic restaurant, such an amazing chef, and I was so excited to check it out after it reigned supreme over LA for so many years. And it still is one of the most classic destinations you can go to in LA for fine dining. So my friend Emily from high school joined me, and we set into the tasting menu. So we started with some small, like, fun bites. One of my favorites was the black sesame and caviar. That was just gorgeous little, like, black sesame muffins topped with caviar. Another one of our favorites was the Wagyu beef cigars. Just such a playful way to serve, you know, small bites. It came in a literal cigar box, and then they're shaped like cigars. We had some fun, you know, playing pretend with our Wagyu cigars. And then we did their signature and seasonal tasting menu. So I have it here with me. So many delicious pieces of fish, and we also had some meat as well. So we started with the West Coast Natives, is what they called it. And this came with cucumber, pear, and macadamia, and it just was like a nice, like, crudo of some fish, what was seasonal and local. That was delicious. Then we had abalone, which came with sunchoke, foie, hazelnut, and nori. Just, these are all such beautiful, beautiful, beautiful pieces. Then we had Nancy's Dayboat Sea Scallop, which came with shiitake and turnips. Next, one of my favorites was the Vermilion Rockfish, which came with eggplant, snap peas, and shiso. Just so stunning. Then we had a choice of swordfish or Liberty Farms duck, so we chose one of each between the two of us, and the swordfish came with a black truffle crust, cauliflower, and pancetta, and that's just another stunning, that the black truffle crust on that fish, like, just so pretty. I've never seen such elegant fish dishes. And then the Liberty Farms duck was really nice too, and our waiter recommended getting this because he was like, after you have so much fish, you're gonna want some meat in there too to mix it up. And it was great to see the versatility that Chef Michael could make a fantastic piece of duck as well. And that came with Tahitian squash and Savoy cabbage. Of course, dessert, there was a, like, palate cleanser of quince sorbet with cranberry. And then the final dessert was Satsuma Imo, which is a squash with yuzu and creme fraiche. So that was this beautiful pastry. It looks like it has these, like, little mini marshmallows, and just the perfect winter, fall dessert. And yeah, everything was delicious. We loved our meal at Providence, a beautiful, beautiful restaurant. They had just, yeah, such great hospitality, wonderful service. Everyone was so friendly and so happy to share, you know, the experience with us of eating there for the first time at this LA institution. Just a great, beautiful space, just very warm and happy feeling. Everyone was so friendly, and they even gave us a kitchen tour, which was so cool to see where so many LA chefs got their start here at one of the best kitchens in Los Angeles. So it was a beautiful, huge, massive kitchen. There's a private dining room in there. It's just really cool to feel part of the LA culinary history. And of course they sent us chocolates to take home, so that was ending on a quite sweet note. So that was Providence, #2 on Jonathan's list. That was my second to last night of the challenge, and the last night I go to #1, Vespertine. So stay tuned to see what I think of Jonathan's favorite LA restaurant, and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Keep following along on Instagram at Carnivorr. Carnivorr goes for gold as we finish up the 101 Days, 101 Restaurants Challenge. Thanks for watching.